Hello and welcome to this beginner and intermediate mandolin lesson on how to play Summertime, written by George Gershwin. We're going to learn the melody, the chords, and then a slightly harder version of the chords, and hopefully have something at the end of it that sounds a bit like this. So our first task is to learn the melody. The melody is not the hardest part of this tune. It's a 16-bar phrase, but what's nice about this is that you can make it as difficult or as easy as you like, and it's a wonderful tune to sort of have a jam around with friends because the chords are relatively easy to teach and the melody is relatively easy to pick up. So let's just play it in 4 different phrases and 4 bars per phrase with the little pickup before it. And I will just have the metronome on in the side. So the first phrase sounds like that. Before we start, I should mention that everything we talk about in this lesson is included in a free PDF, which you can download below, so you don't have to learn any of this by ear. So phrase 1, if I just put my metronome on, so after 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So a couple of things to mention. I am going to tremolo some of this just because it sounds quite nice at this speed. You don't have to tremolo anything. You can tremolo all of it. I'm not going to talk about tremolo in this video. There's plenty of other videos available online for that. And then there's an ever so slight swing to this tune, so you're welcome to play it straight. But I'll be playing it sort of slightly swung. So let's play phrase 1 again with those 2 things in mind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 3, 4, 1. And then phrase 2. So if we just do that again after 2, so phrase 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And then phrase 3 starts off the beat, so it would kind of come in on an upstroke, so it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So if I do that again, this is after 3 for phrase 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So there's a couple of phrase notes off the beat there. So 1, 2, 3, da, ba da da da. So just watch out for those. And then finally phrase 4. 1, 2, 3. So again, nothing too major. So all that's left to do for the melody, and don't forget at any point you can pause this video if I'm going too quick and use the cog down in the corner here to slow me down. But right now I'm going to play the whole tune once through with the metronome. The metronome's set to 95 BPM. After 2. 1, 2. 4, 1. 2. 1. 1, 2, 3. So now we have the melody, we can start looking at the chords. Now the chords are relatively straightforward. It's A minor, D minor, E7, and then there's a C in there as well. So you can play those chords two ways, and you can play them what I would call like an open style, so we'll use it as many open strings as possible. So your A minor would be 2 2 3 0. Your D minor 2 0 0 1. Your E7 1 0 2 0. And then C, just a normal C. So those are the four open, in inverted commas, ways. Alternatively, you could do slightly more closed versions where there's no open strings ringing out. So A minor is 2 2 3 5. D minor is the same shape, just moved towards you, 2 3 5. And then E7 is an interesting one. If you stay in the same shape, you shift down, so it becomes 4 6 5. And then C, maybe stick to the same C. So those are the four chords: A minor, D minor, E7, and then C. And then rhythm-wise, I kind of tend to drift between two different options. The very simple bass and strum, so if I just do it on the closed A minor. Absolutely nothing wrong with that, because don't forget, when you're playing chords, you are trying to stay out of the way and let the solo do its thing. So nothing wrong with very comfortable place to sit. If you would like something slightly more challenging, you can make the second half of each bar a bit more interesting. So first half of the bar is still bass and strum, and then down, up, strum, up. So down, up, strum, up, down, up, strum, up, with a bit of a swing to it as well. So those are your two options. So let's just play through the chords together once through. I'll put the metronome back on. We're going to do the whole lesson at 95 BPM. So I'll put the metronome back on and we'll play through the chords once. So at this point you can play any chord shape you want and any of those two rhythms, I don't mind. You can switch between them halfway through. Just any road that gets you to Rome. After 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. A minor. Here's the D minor. To E7. Back to A minor. C. D minor. E7. A minor. So as you may have just discovered, that last line, A minor, those four chords move quite quickly, so maybe that's where you would drop the complicated rhythm and just play the simple chords. For intermediate players, there's one more thing that we can add to that chord pattern. So there's a really nice video, there's quite a few nice videos, I especially like one by Billy Strings, which I will link in the comments below, and there's a walking bass line or a moving bass line that we can do. So over the 4 bars of A minor, at the moment we've just got a bass line of A minor, A. We can add that bass line underneath the melody. So if you just stayed on A minor, you could get that going. So A, B, C, B, A, B. So you've got a new bass line of A, B, C, B. Now you could, like I just played there, you could keep the A minor chord over it. But I quite like changing the chord as well. So I've got a slightly new chord pattern you can play. So it's now A minor, and then an E5 with a B on the bass. So B, E, B, E as your chord, and then C, and then back to E5 with the B on the bass. So that's now how it sounds. So it just adds a little bit of interest to those 4 bars of A minor. The other chords will remain the same, and I kind of tend to do the harder rhythm as well. So bass, strum, down, up, bass, strum, down, up, strum, up. But it's up to you. So now we have everything that we need to jam around this tune. We've played through the melody, we've kind of tremoloed it or not tremoloed it, we've got the chord progression, and then we've got a slightly more interesting chord progression. So this is what I mean by we can make this as hard or as easy as we want. So what we're going to do now is we're going to have a jam of the tune. So we're going to play it 4 times round. I will play the melody, then I'll play the chords, then I'll play the melody, then I'll play the chords. So I'll switch each time. And the intention is that you have the opportunity to either do the same as me, so while you're learning it, and then once you've learnt it, do the opposite of me. So when I'm playing the melody, you're playing the chords, and vice versa. I'm playing the chords, you're playing the melody. So you can kind of have a virtual jam session with me through the magic of YouTube. So the metronome will be at the same speed. If you get lost, I'll keep shouting out where we are. And you can play any chord pattern, any chord shape, and any chord rhythm you like that suits you. Best of luck. Here we go. After 4. On 1, 2, 3, 4, go! D minor. E7. A minor. C, A minor, D minor, E7, A minor, E7, D minor, E7, A minor, C, A minor, 1, 2, D minor, 3, 3, D minor, E, 3, 4, 1, 2, one last time. D minor, E7, C, A minor, hopefully you made it to the end of that jam with me. Don't forget now, do the opposite of me, and so you can hear the melody and chords in unison, and if that was too quick, there's the cog down here to slow me down. I do hope you've enjoyed this lesson. I publish these every month, so please hit subscribe while you're here and let me know if you like the new video format in the comments. I would be greatly appreciative of any feedback, and we'll see you next month.